Chevalier, what happened to your vessel?
I got myself into a bit of a scrape. Sent 3 ships in all hand to their watery grave. The Gerfaut nearly followed them down.
Just your fate has been better, Le Chasseur.
Indeed. My sources inform me that Samuel Smith has searched far and wide, looking for answers on how to make that strange box work. He just returned from Europe.
Where's he now?
Refitting his schooner. If you hurry, you can catch him there. Oh, remember those blueprints? Well, I had an engineer build that marvelous weapon for your ship. Master Puckle's gun fires more shots than an artillery brigade, and twice as fast.
Many thanks.
Anything for my hooded friends.
Captain?
Sir! I will join you on this voyage.
Then shall we, gentlemen?
You are in a jovial mood, Shay?
Why shouldn't I be? I have a new weapon, and will soon have a chance to use it. Besides, Templars are usually well guarded, and I'm sure that Smith fellow is no exception.
I also took the liberty of ordering some improvements. Morgan now has a ram cut through ice itself.
I have heard of such technology, but never witnessed its operation.
What about Smith, then? Is he close by?
Aye, he sails these very waters, and he may have the precursor box.
Let's find him.
Ready here! Studs out! Let's get moving! Stunsails in! Blew up gallants! Fire! 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 Raise your stand! She's breaking up! That's all sail! Close down! Catch some wind! Raise those sheets! Let's go! Crowd on every inch of sail! We'll stop some gallant royals!
There he is!
Most fortunate timing! Lady Luck never ceases to smile on you.
He's seen us! Give chase!
But hold your fire! We must not damage the box or risk losing it to the sea. Can this bucket go any faster?
At least my ship is still seaworthy, Chevalier. Fire!
Samuel Smith is the Templar's treasurer. What he's doing in these waters is beyond me.
Maybe he came here to meet someone. Or ran into your pirates. He's refitting his ship. Something must have happened.
If one of my allies attacked him, I would have known about it.
Well, he's back from a long voyage. Now's our chance to get him.
He knows most of the Templars well, doesn't he? With him out of the way.
Washington entrusted the precursor box to him. He probably still has it.
Shay's right. Box comes first.
So we can't sink him. We'll have to board his ship, or force him to beach.
Look, Captain. He's cutting through the ice.
It seems you're not the only one equipped with such a ram, Shay.
Let us hope ours fares just as well.
The ram is taking care of that ice sheet!
It worked. The way is clear.
Once more your fortune holds. But do not waste time congratulating yourself. Smith is getting away.
These waters closely, Captain. It's an ambush!
Get off where you sit, Diablo Martin! Smith must not escape!
Lee Smith's ship!
Let's get rid of these distractions first. We'll find him. Bring the topsails and gallants!
He's dead in the water! Blew up gallants!
There's Smith. He's moving again.
No doubt he hoped to be a spectator of your demise.
I'm glad to disappoint him. And he's still within reach.
On your mark, Captain!
What wickedness is this?
Another Templar tactic. You can cover whole stretches of ocean with their flames.
Careful, Shay. We could be burnt to cinders.
It's nothing more than a last desperate throw of the dice. He knows we have him.
That wind's trouble, Captain Cormac.
We've been hit! Well, show them who rules the way.
Now we know where he was headed. Bastard has an encampment here.
Follow him on land. Do not even think of firing the ship's weapons near that precious box.
I'll take care of this.
Careful.
Fire! Douse the royals and tops!
Anchor away.
Captain's gone for a cold dip! You! Off! Let me out! Got him inside!
Buddy up, lads! Trying to play it! Can't get away, cops!
Get back here, you deaf turd! This will be your end, assassin! You'll regret this! Think about what you're doing, assassin! Your Brotherhood is using you! This will be your end, assassin! You will regret this! Got him inside! He's mine! Dead!
This cannot be. No! Do you even know what that is?
An ancient artifact. Treasure from those who came before.
Yes. It matters not. Some of the greatest scientific minds of all Europe could not make it work.
Now all I need is the manuscript, and all shall be revealed.
Captain Cormac at the helm!
I've got the precursor box. Smith's dead.
Well done, Shay.
Where's Chevalier?
Returning to Le Gerfaut. We'll have to celebrate without him, I'm afraid.
I don't much feel like celebrating, Liam. I know we have to get these artifacts back, but at what cost? Samuel Smith. He could barely hold his sword straight. Killing him was...
Necessary.
But
But nothing. Smith was a dangerous man, a Templar. And what's worse, he had the precursor box. You should be proud of yourself, Shay.
perhaps...
We should head for Albany now. James Wardle, the fellow Lawrence Washington gave the manuscript to, will be there. The Sigawasi reported that James Wardle rooted out many tribes from their ancestral lands. We have proof that he's behind countless massacres. He's one of the most devious and ruthless men in the colonies. He uses the letter of the law to serve his purposes. And when the law does not bend to him, he gets lawmakers to bend it for him. Mark my word, Shay. James Wardrop's a bureaucrat. He doesn't care how his actions affect others.
Fire! Loose all and trim sharp to the wind.
Ready here!
Thompson Royals!
Cliff dead ahead, sir!
That's enough for now.
What do you be needing today? Another time. And how long are you planning to stay?
Only a few days.
Please wait here.
Sun.
It was mine, and you know it!
Is that the most intelligent thing you have to say to each other?
We have seasoned veterans among our exes. How long do you reckon the English and French have been fighting?
Since Cressy, I'd wager. That was what?
Long before that, even. Stand still.
We have
Stand
seasoned veterans among our ranks. And yet where do we stand on the
Hold you! China! Ah! Hurry! Good done, man.
You there! Stop!
Oi! Stand still! He's over there!
You're here. Congress is still in session. George Washington and his militia have fired on French troops under Jumonville. The French are calling it an act of war.
George Washington. You mean Lawrence's younger brother?
Yeah, it's the same. Speaking of Lawrence Washington, since you eliminated him, James Wardrop has moved up in ranks. All the Templar resources are at his disposal now.
What about the manuscript?
My sources in New York confirm that Wardrop has it. I also learned that he is here at the Congress under heavy guard.
Shay, find Wardrop. Get that manuscript.
This place is thick with Templar troops. Liam and I will make sure he doesn't escape.
That must be the Templar William Johnson. Perhaps he has the manuscript, or knows where it is.
As I have stated previously, I believe we need a national union, granted by an act of parliament, but bringing greater independence to our colonies. The French are an immediate threat, and we are ill prepared to face them. To put it bluntly, the colonies must join, or die.
A rousing speech, Master Franklin. But do you truly believe Great Britain will grant our colonies autonomy?
They have little choice, Master Johnson. You know the remoteness of this frontier better than most.
Yes, but let us leave politics for another day. I wanted to thank you for your research.
Of course, of course. In the brief time I could examine that box, I could tell it was something unique. From ancient Egypt, you said? Well, as I mentioned in my letter, I am quite ready to electrify it.
Excellent. We will have the box delivered shortly. As for the manuscript... Captain?
I apologize, sir. But Master Wardrop refused to hand it over. He said the risks were too great.
The risks? Ah. I apologize. You will have the manuscript and the box in the briefest of delays.
You mangy excuse for a uniform. Run to Fort Frederick and tell Master Wardrop he had better cough up the manuscript post-haste. Else I will have him scalped.
I can't let that lobster captain reach Wardrop. can't let that lobster captain reach Wardrope. And now to Wardrope. And the manuscript.
I'll take that, you Templar dog.
No! You have no idea what you're doing, fool!
Keeping the people free from your control.
How free will you be when the French undermine these squabbling colonies?
These colonies would be far better off without the Templars pulling the strings.
We bring order from chaos. If everything is permitted, no one is safe.
Even the devil can quote scripture to suit his own purposes.
I have the manuscript.
Great. Hope is waiting for you in Sleepy Hollow.
What's in Sleepy Hollow?
Benjamin Franklin. The man Johnson hired to make that strange precursor box work.
So what's the plan?
Meet Hope. Personate one of Johnson's men. And get the box of manuscript to Franklin.
So I'm a messenger then?
Aye. See if this Franklin can figure out how this damn box operates. Stay with him. Oh, as far as we can tell, this man doesn't know about the Templars, or the Assassins for that matter.
Oh, a simple task.
For a simple man.
We are on course!
Careful. Short and sail! Get off the squall!
Captain's at the helm!
Get the main speed!
Cargo!
Trim us off the wind!
Bring it all in! Oh, it's a cold and dreary morning.
Let's save some for later.
Aloft, lads!
That ship is drifting.
Douse the gallants and ride!
Anchor!
Captain, our mates out! Let's go! Trim the yards off the wind!
Let's go, anchor!
Wishes to announce a newly arrived shipment of calico from Hindustan. Rich solids and fancy prints in all colors of the rainbow can be yours. The Royal Swedish Academy of Letters has been founded in Stockholm. The Academy was founded by Her Majesty Queen Ulrika of Prussia and is dedicated to literature. This new institution should be a beacon of culture in the city which is still reeling from a plague a generation ago. Ladies are reminded to keep modesty and practicality in mind in their dress. Silks and velvets are
You're late. The sky is getting temperamental.
That's not the only thing, is it? Master Franklin, sir. My name is Shay, and this is my associate Hope. William Johnson told us to give you these.
Thank you, but I'm afraid I must delay my experiment.
Delay it? Why?
The army confiscated my lightning rods. They are essential to conducting the electricity I need to vivify your box.
Master Johnson would not want you to have to wait.
Perhaps there is something you can do, then. Soldiers have been hauling things away all day. Perhaps they could tell you where they've taken my lightning rods so you could get them back.
At your service, sir.
Begin your investigation at the market near the docks. I will stay here and help with the preparations.
This is intolerable. I can barely conduct my research anymore.
Everyone is having metal confiscated nowadays.
Yes. The army will melt it down and turn it into weapons. War is upon us.
So, Master Franklin, what is this?
A Leyden jar. It temporarily stores power in the form of vitreous and resinous electricity.
Really? What will you do with the jar when it is full?
What will I do with all my jars? For this experiment, we will need an entire energy storage system. The many units fire at once, so I call it a battery. It should make your interpretation box operate.
Fascinating.
The weather's getting worse. You know where the warehouse is, soldier?
Aye, sir.
I'm sure you're seeing things, but I'll take a picture. That strange stuff in Benjamin Franklin's garden. I keep well clear of that place. They say that man messes with lightning. Speaking of lightning, I reckon there's a storm coming.
Aye. Let's hope you up yours until we're off
George, you bring
duty.
your mate?
Possibly.
Is that the last of it?
Yes, it is, sir.
Good. Put it with the rest.
model of 3927.
I wonder what Master Franklin plans to do with these rods. This storm's getting worse. Better hurry back to Franklin.
Shay! Thank goodness! Quick! Help me with the rods!
It's a map! Where is that?
Portugal! Lisbon, I'd stake my life on it!
Make yourself scarce, Shay. The militia will be here any minute. I'm sure they will have questions.
What about you?
I'm a devoted housekeeper.
Right. The nearest bureau is near Mount Vernon. Pope will be expecting me.
Captain Cormac has the helm!
Get the mainsails into the wind!
Clews down! Captain's helm!
Lisbon is near as large as London or Paris. Are you sure you can find this one place?
Saw it clear as day, Hope. It's a convent, right close by the harbor. I might have visited the sisters once or twice.
Given your present knowledge of the site, this duty falls upon you. You understand what must be done?
Find the Precursor Temple and retrieve the Piece of Eden.
Finally obtained a ship for crossing the ocean. Have no worries. I will keep the Morgans safe in New York.
Thank you. Liam and I will leave straight away.
Liam is unavailable at present. Your crew and ship await. Be careful, Shay. Pieces of Eden are powerful relics.
Feast of All Saints. What a sight. And here I am, looking for a relic from the time before Adam and Eve. Strange days indeed.
Benedictus est, Domine, Deus universi quia de tua largitate accepimus vinum, quo tibi offerimus fructum vitis et operis manum hominum, ex quo nobis fiet votus spiritualis. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Miseratus nostri omnipotens Deus nostris, perducat nos ad vitam aeternam. Benedictus est, Domine, Deus universi quia de tua largitate accepimus vinum, quo tibi oferimus, fructum vitis et operis manum hominum, ex quo nobis fiet votus spiritualis. Orate, fratres, ut meum ac vestrum sacrificium acceptabile fiat apud Deum Patrem omnipotentem.
This must be it. The precursor site. What do we have here? The artifact.
God do this to them?
God had nothing to do with this. So what's the next city you want me to smite? What happened in Haiti happened in Portugal. A great earthquake. Thousands dead thanks to your damned manuscript!
This cannot be.
Shay, a person cannot start an earthquake!
A person meddling with these precursor machines could. You saw the Box Hope. The temple was filled to bursting with that kind of power. You made me slaughter innocents!
How dare you!
You defend him? Achilles sent me in there like Macandal sent his man in Haiti.
What the hell's going on? Stop this! The operation was delicate. Perhaps
you are shifting the earth itself. Who are you to decide what city falls next?
Get him out of here.
Liam is a fool if he thinks I'll leave this be. Achilles cannot be trusted. He must never find another precursor temple. I don't care that he's mentor, or that his family is dead. There's no excuse for this level of madness. Only one thing to do. There's no turning back now.
I had such hopes for you, Shay.
Achilles, I have to do this.
And what is it you're doing exactly? Stealing from your brothers? Betraying me?
Someone must make amends.
Make amends? You have no idea what you're doing. The future of the whole continent, maybe the whole world, is tied up in that manuscript.
Perhaps. But we don't have the right to decide that future.
The right? We have the responsibility!
We are responsible for killing innocents and destroying cities. This mad grab for power. It ends now.
I will not let you destroy everything we have built! Assassins! Stop him! Stop Shay!
What is gonna do it? He'll destroy the manor!
clear shot as I can get. I can shoot him!
Haven't I taught you anything?
Come down from there! Ready to fire. I have as clear a shot as I can get.
Don't you listen to reason, Shay.
Ready to take him down! As clear a shot as I can get. Help! He's getting away!
I will not let you run away!
Got him sighted! I have this clear shot. Ready to take him down! Trying to give us the slip, maggot?
That's enough!
Give back the manuscript, Shay! I'm sure Achilles—
I cannot! I will not let this happen again! All those souls lost! One more hardly matters. Shay!
What is this?
A glitch in the memories. There seems to be more data.
Okay, Numbskull. I can't pull you out of the chair right now. You'll just have to see this through. This is bizarre. These memories seem to take place some 20 years after the one we just saw.
Are you certain?
Positive. This means... Shay must have survived that fall.
If he is the man I believe him to be, then he has. Keep going.
The data is fragmented. This memory is incomplete. Let me see what I can do. Listen up. We need to find out what Shay's up to. This memory's gonna look a little rough, but I'm like 90% sure sequencing this memory won't kill you. All right, Numbskull. We don't know where Shay is or what he's doing there, so keep your eyes and ears open.
I want to know the reason Shay came to this place.
You heard the man. Let's move.
Et alors? Vous l'avez trouvé?
Ouais, Benjamin Franklin est à Notre-Dame. Si on se magne, on devrait le rattraper.
Arrêtez de vous branler! Allons-y!
Benjamin Franklin. That's who Shay is after.
Franklin traveled to England and France, and that guy said Notre Dame. Shay must be in Paris. Time to show me what you got.
Eliminate the threat. Protect Franklin. fera pas cette fois!
Shit!
What happened?
That's all the data we have. We can't explore this memory further. For now.
Shay couldn't have died, then appeared in France 20 years later. We're missing something. Shay's memories are scattered in chunks throughout the cloud. The servers are messed up from the virus, so we can't access all of Shay's life at once.
You've hit a wall, and I'm busy with something. Why don't you go meet Otto Berg? You'll find him squatting in one of the offices.
Shay Cormac is an assassin. But he is unlike the ones you have used for your entertainment products in the past. I believe Shay may be the most important assassin who ever lived. Your research will help me achieve something I have wanted for a very long time. Shay's story may have something to offer you as well.
There's another server we can access to get to the next chunk of Shay's memories.
Excellent.
I'm gonna need the numbskull back if we're gonna proceed.
Your next task is clear. But please reflect on what we have discussed.
Hey, I'm by the elevator. Get over here.
I got tired of waiting for Melanie's stupid repair crew, so I got this piece of shit working well enough to get you to the lobby and back. I'll get your Animus prepped while you're downstairs. I've added the location to the next server on your map. Get going.
Shit! I forgot. The server is behind a level 1 security lock.
I have granted you level 1 security clearance. I trust there will be no further delays.
Great! Now you can get into the server room. Once you restore the servers, I'll load the next set of Shay's memories to your Animus. And you're in.
All points ready.
Begin.
Go, go, go!
Who are you? Don't you touch her!
Oh, for God's sake, restrain him! You, give me the child. Oh, shush now. You all right?
Elena!
Calm down, Mr. Berg. I promise you I won't hurt your daughter.
Who are you?
My name is Warren Vidic. I work for Abstergo Industries. You quit the Uti Yaga regiment and became a freelance mercenary in order to afford better care for Elena's cystic fibrosis. How's that working out for you?
Arkele!
I have an offer for you.
I don't work for people I don't know.
It's not that kind of offer. I'm going to remove an item from my pocket.
What is that?
This little pill? It's actually for her. Go on, little one. Have some medicine.
Stop!
There now. Isn't that better? This pill will cure her. It isn't on the market, but it can be yours if you agree to participate in a little training program I put together.
What does Abstergo need with someone like me?
Oh, you won't be working for Abstergo. However, if you perform, Abstergo could work for you.
I want one thing before I agree.
Name it.
That one there. He upset my daughter.
I understand. Gentlemen, release Mr. Berg. Jenkins, give him your gun.
What?
Now!
Yes, sir.
Satisfied?
It's a start.
Great job, Numbskull. Data we have is pretty raw, but it's enough to move forward. Get back up here. Double time. It looks like restoring servers also clears the virus from some of the other systems.
You are making excellent progress. I am eager to see what Shay will show us next.
Level 1 clearance will also let you into some of the other parts of the building as well, if you need to stretch your legs in between Animus sessions.
I'm so glad I went to university for this.
What the hell do they need so many screens for in the first place?
How about now? No? Now? No. Shit. Why isn't this working? But have you tried it, though?
No, the story's told in rhyme. It doesn't sound like my thing.
These hand-drawn animations are fantastic.
We're making good progress here.
You know what authorized personnel only means, don't you?
Whoa. This place is a fucking disaster piece.
If I said that was the craziest shit I'd ever seen, would that be the most obvious statement ever?
Shay has been through a severely traumatic experience.
Okay. Second most obvious statement ever.
Continue exploring his memories. The best is yet to come.
Good to see you're feeling better.
Thank you. Mr. Finnegan, was it?
Sweet Mother Mary. Have we taken in the village idiot?
Barry! Remember, Shay, I'm Cassidy, and this is...
Barry!
You've been ill for weeks.
I hate to have been a burden.
See? He's a civilized fella.
Aye, for a clumsy deckhand. Probably fell off his ship half drunk.
Barry!
He's right.
What do y'all want?
What's going on?
You wretch, how dare you!
Shut up, woman.
Oh!
Leave her alone. Ah!
Now what are you going on about?
Stay out of this, you fool!
Well, I was going to, but... Now you've made things personal.
You shall perish! And don't come back! Thank you, Shay. In my younger days, I could have taken them one-handed.
Why were these men bothering you?
Ah, the usual. They feel they're owed money because they're not harming citizens. Mark me words, those gangs are going to be the downfall of this city.
Wait here, I have something for you. It won't do you any good walking around Starkers. Here, try these on. They were our sons.
I suppose, if you're looking for trouble, you'll be needing these.
Thank you.
Don't you look a right gentleman?
Cass.
Did I have a book with me?
Just those peculiar weapons.
Thank you both. If you'll excuse me. The manuscript is at the bottom of the Atlantic.
You again! You'll regret this! The Finnegans are dead! Hear me? Dead! Putting your nose in other people's business ain't nice! You picked the wrong side! You'll regret it!
What have you and your friends got against the Finnegans?
I got no gripe. My boss sent me over.
Ah, and where's he set up?
You can't miss it. There's always black smoke rising from the courtyard of that building. sir.
Don't make this difficult for yourselves.
We own this town, boy. What are you waiting for? Kill him! You can't escape us! We'll give you a lesson. That's got a good line on you. We'll give you a lesson. Get him, boys! You won't get out of here alive!
Stay out of our business.
That will help with smoke.
Be at ease, Master Cormac. We are friends. The Finnegans were worried you might take matters into your own hands. I am Colonel George Monroe.
Colonel?
I came to help, but I see I am late. Thank you for dealing with these foul criminals. They were a blight on New York.
What do you care? You redcoats are nothing but landlords. The townsfolk here are grinding away, trying to make a living.
I cannot blame you for having that impression. Some of my comrades have been less than helpful. But I take a different approach.
And what is that?
I care. I want to see these colonists safe and prosperous.
Noble words.
Perhaps actions will convince you otherwise, Master Cormac.
Here. Reclaim what they have stolen. Now let us use some of that money for the good of the city. I realize you have no reason to trust me, Master Cormac.
You said you were a friend of the Finnegans.
I am. Their late son worked for me. You are much like him.
How so?
He cared, and he wanted to do good by the people. We shared a dream, he and I, that of making the world a better place. Mere survival is not enough. Full bellies, warm clothing. Freedom from want is the greatest freedom of all.
It almost sounds like you have goodwill towards the people you govern.
I do not govern, Master Cormac. I merely assist. See this neglected edifice, Master Cormac? We can make it better. Urban renewal is a new science, but one that has already proven effective on the continent. I've arranged for resources. Use them to improve that building.
The neighborhood will be much better now.
I suspect New York will prosper under your watch, Master Cormac. You can do great things for this city and its citizens. After all, a man needs purpose. Farewell for now, Master Cormac.
The Colonel strikes me as an honorable man. Someone who wants to do what's right. And he may have a point. With everything that has happened. With what I've done. I can't change the past. But maybe there's a future for me here. And maybe, just maybe, I can do what's right this time. I should head back to the Finnegans. Let them know I'm fine.
Everything you could possibly need, gathered here for your convenience.
Shay, Colonel Monroe told us what happened.
You, sir, are a fool. But thanks.
Master Cormac, I am sorry to bother you when you were barely out of your sick bed.
No, I've had enough of being cooped up.
Then perhaps you could get a friend of mine out of trouble. He discovered a nest of criminals developing strange weapons. Look at these. Bullets as loud and bright as firecrackers. If we might have a moment alone. His name is Christopher Gist. And he might be in over his head. I fear these brutes will hang him like a dog.
I will not let those outlaws have another victim.
Good. The villains are entrenched at Old Fort Arsenal. I have urgent business in Albany. Please tell Master Gist to join me there.
Do you hear, dearie? They are hanging a man in the old fort.
Oh, 'twould be a shame to miss that.
What in hell's name? I'll give you a hand. Come back here. I'll give you a hand. This bastard did what we rightfully stole. Let's say we give him a stretch. Kill him! Let him hide! Go to hell, the lot of you!
These ruffians are part of the same gang who made trouble for the Finnegans.
I need to talk to you. Time to fight. You can't slip away from us, you mangy dog!
Christopher Guest. I'm Shay Cormac.
John! But what are you doing here, if you don't mind me asking?
The Colonel sent me.
Aha!
Good show, Shay. Ran them right out of their own den.
Well, I was looking for a new place to live.
Well, don't put your name on the door yet. There may be a few men left on their ship. Look, the bird is nested right over there.
The Morgan. What is she doing there? That's my ship, friend. Begging your pardon, but I must go fetch her back from those louts.
Wait! I can hardly let you do that alone.
Help me if you can, then.
Keep your wits about you, Shay. Criminals are everywhere, and most of them look just like law-abiding citizens.
And they've been harassing the people who've nursed me back to health.
Sounds like good folks.
They are. Perhaps you know them. Barry and Cassidy Finnegan.
I've never met them, but I knew their son. Careful now. These ruffians can be anywhere. You can draw them out by making noise.
Oh, I've got something better than that.
Well, you seem to be more than capable of taking care of this matter. I tell you what. I I shall find a new crew for your vessel, in case you have to leave post-haste.
Halt! The hour rings for your death!
She's a fine ship. And true to my word, I found a crew for her. I did leave one position unfilled, though. Tell me, Shay, do you have a first mate?
He's long gone.
Then I apply for the post, Captain.
Welcome aboard.
As your first mate, may I suggest our next destination? The Colonel will be expecting me to report back.
My thoughts exactly. Colonel Monroe said he'd be in Albany.
Splendid!
What service can I provide you? My thanks for your trust, Captain.
Captain has the wheel! The Colonel waits in Albany. I wonder what he has in mind for us to do next.
Us? I thought you just wanted to check in with Monroe. Not sign me up for the army.
Not at all, Shay. But I admire the Colonel's ideals and want to make them happen.
What kind of ideals?
Secure borders, prosperous farms, fair trade. We need those in these wretched colonies.
Sounds like a high-minded utopia.
It rather does. Want to help make it happen?
Colonel Monroe is an intriguing man, and he certainly seems honorable. We'll head for Albany. After that, I'll see.
Splendid. Full sail ahead, lads!
Haul in the stunsail!
Anchor ahoy!
In good health, I see.
Thanks to the captain here.
'Tis a fine vessel, Captain Cormac.
Thank you, Colonel Monroe.
Master Gist, did you learn more about our conspirators and their new weapons?
Well, only that their base of operations is a French fort further downriver.
It's a little close for comfort, isn't it?
If the French have installed a fort in our territory, they are likely preparing an assault. New York could burn. Will you join us, Master Cormac?
Aye. Enough innocents have died already.
Might I suggest we improve our vessel? The Morrigan is good, but with a few more supplies, she could be unstoppable. And there's a French outpost nearby I happen to know.
I like the sound of that. What sort of business are the French up to there? Just occupying the territory?
It is an economic incursion more than a
Loose the
geographical
mains,
one.
half sails.
Some of the ruffians are sponsored by enemies of the colonies.
Dark
They
skies
intend
and
to
rough
undermine
seas
local authorities.
I've heard they steal from civilians and resell essential goods for 10 times the price.
It's always the little fella who gets skinned. Colonel, you and Gist here seem inspired. Is there
We're
something
heading
in the
north for
water?
land, sir.
Or in the whiskey?
Now, why do you say that, Master Cormac?
I think Shay here is skeptical about our intentions towards our fellow man.
I understand, but there is no need. I simply want these colonies to be a place of safety, development, and purpose.
Funny. I thought rich men wanted them to be a place of profit.
I am not a rich man, Master Cormac. Money is a means to an end,
Cargo from a wreck
not an
over here,
end
sir.
in and of itself.
Says you. I think it's a fine end to a game of cards.
Loose all and trim sharp to the wind.
Loose sails! Let's catch the wind!
Glue's up. These are sticks.
Captain's at the helm!
Glue's down!
Surely we're nearing our goal.
Reef the topsails and gallants!
Drop anchor!
J'ai rejoint l'armée, c'était pour la somme.
J'ai cru qu'on apparaîtrait la semaine dernière. On ne voit pas dans ce métier.
Saint-Marc, va rejoindre Tremblay. Réveille-le s'il dort encore.
Arrêtez ce bâtard! Non, non, pitié, je ne peux pas mourir.
Je ne vous fais pas,
Laissez-moi.
lâcher. Allez, une heure à l'ouvrage.
De grâce, pitié.
Toi là-bas.
Tu te sens en sécurité?
Adzes, hose, trowels, you name fresh carrots, potatoes, meat.
Good show, Shay. Now let's use those materials to give the Morrigan more firepower. We will need more powerful guns before we approach that fort. Go to your cabin to arrange the work. Splendid! That fort and the defenders will tremble before the Morrigan.
Captain Cormac has the
Your ship
wheel!
is in fine form, Master Cormac. That fort should offer little resistance.
I rather hope the frogs offer some, else this will be a dull day.
Never wish for battle, Master Gist. There is plenty around here for any of our lifetimes.
Besides, if we find the fort's commander, the French will surrender, no?
Indeed, that is a sensible strategy. But we will have to wear down the fort's defenses first. Otherwise, they will just dig in like a wounded bear.
Cargo adrift, Captain!
There's our target, Shay! Knock her down like a game of pins!
Begin by hitting her towers.
As the Colonel says!
More enemy ships, Captain!
Fire!
To fire, sir!
Fire!
To the flag!
That's got them! Fire! Fire! Fire!
Careful, Captain! These waters are closely watched by our enemies.
Douse the royals and props! Spread our wings to the wind!
Loose sails! Let's catch the wind!
Fire!
They have reinforcements, sir!
Fasten yourselves! Fire! 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 Trim the yards off the wind! Fire!
Enemies firing!
Fire! Fire!
Ready, Captain!
Fire!
Weakest right there, sir! Still
Fire!
reloading! Ready to fire, sir!
Fire! Fire!
That's their weak spot! Take the shot, sir!
Get the mainsails into the wind!
More sail! Give me more sail!
Reef in all tops!
Take in that sheet! Superb! Now find the fort commander! Anchor away!
Le Chasseur.
Shay. It has been so long. Were you on a special mission?
Yes. From Achilles.
How interesting. So am I.
Don't make me do this, Le Chasseur!
Do what? Assassinate me? I thought that was your specialty.
We could both just leave.
Ah, but then I would tell your brothers that you are alive. You have to kill me, Shay.
Trying to give us this slick
You are always good at your business, Shay.
As were you. Tell me, what are you doing inland?
Special weapons. Poisonous gases to use against colonial authorities. I am merely a delivery man.
Then may your final delivery be swift. Le Chasseur was right. I had no other choice. If the assassins find out I'm alive, they'll come after me.
Efforts are being stymied by the French.
While you were busy taking down that fort, I happened to stumble upon the treasury.
You don't say.
It was the damnedest thing. Well, in any case, amongst other things, I found maps and charts detailing various French trade routes.
What are you thinking, Gist?
I thought perhaps we could use them to help the Royal Navy and fill our pockets. I stored these maps in your cabin, Captain, should you wish to use them.
Cormac has the
General
wheel!
thanks and congratulates you, Shay. He has returned to New York. But you look troubled.
Do you ever wonder if you're doing the right thing, Gist? If you chose the right path?
I used to, my young friend, but not anymore. Not since I met the Colonel. And what's the question? The French are entrenched in our territory. It's about time we root them out.
Of course. You're right, Gist. Let's head back to New York.
Aye, Captain.
good day's hunting.
All I say is that lining up like we do to fire must...
You must find better value this time.
Phoebe.
The French may have a stronger arm.
Now we take a moment to remember General Henry.
Ah, Master Cormac. What you have learned from Le Chasseur was confirmed. The local lawbreakers are changing tactics.
What's their plan now?
Their boss has hired Benjamin Franklin to produce new weapons for them. He's very well guarded.
Benjamin Franklin? The scientist?
You have heard of him? Good. He is making equipment to spread gases among the populace. Toxic ones, as it turns out.
The populace? I thought they would use it against the authorities. Though that would be terrible as well.
The ruffians we have arrested refer to an intimidating woman. I believe she is behind these nefarious plans.
I'll look into this.
Thank you.
Hope. I pray it's not you.
Shay!
It is good to see you again. Your friend Hope said you were away.
I was. Sir, I've come to collect the results of your experiments.
Oh, well, it's a very good thing then. I just finished fixing the prototype. Here you go. I was preparing to leave for Philadelphia and then Europe. I was invited to lecture in London. Oh, would you be so kind as to inform Mistress Hope?
Of course. God, Hope. What are you doing with these felons? Turning the city against itself. What have you become?
Something the matter, Master Cormac?
No. Yes, just old memories.
When I am issued new recruits burdened with regrets, I tell them the surest way to lose them is with gunpowder.
You're right, Colonel.
This prototype seems very powerful. Use it with care, Master Cormac. Our intelligence says this thing can destroy certain fortifications, as well as injure several enemies at once. There is also a more subtle way to use it. Some of these grenades contain a strong sedative. Fire one into the crowd and they will fall asleep immediately. We should test this new weapon. Use it against that door. Go ahead, Master Cormac. Shoot the door. Good work. Good work. I think you are ready to turn this new weapon against the ruffians who would have used it. There is an abandoned factory nearby hiding a dangerous poison. Right now, it only causes sleep. But I fear those outlaws are distilling it. A more powerful formula could sicken or perhaps even kill most of New York.
And that's my first target.
Be careful, Master Cormac. We understand that the ingredients are highly unstable.
All the better. With this. Maybe I can break the whole system.
Ready to open fire! Hey! What are you doing here? Not here. Don't give him the satisfaction of slipping away! Find him again!
So long, maggot.
Who appointed you Lord of Civil Disturbance? Surrender! I knew you were too much. Open fire! Don't give him the satisfaction of slipping away! Find him again! Not here!
Must get out, or I'm as good as dead.
Ah, what marvelous destruction, Captain. I saw the smoke all the way from the Morrigan.
That should discourage those miscreants. New York is safe for now.
With all due respect, Colonel, it's going to take more than a few explosions to get rid of this kind of trouble.
The boy is right, Colonel Monroe.
Shay, was it? Congratulations. You just burned a whole lot of rats out of New York. I'm Jack Weeks. This is William Johnson. I don't know about him, but I'm pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
It is, terribly dusty here. I'm sure Shay can recount his adventures to us over a pint. Hey, the first round's on, the Colonel, huh?
Is something the matter, Master Cormac?
Just a little confused. I must have breathed some of that gas.
Some ale will do you good. Come, we are all friends here. You will be taken care of.
from the Colonel.
Dear Master Cormac, my apologies for the brevity of this missive, but it is time we were honest with one another. You have demonstrated your loyalty and resourcefulness to the Templar cause. And this despite, and perhaps because of, your assassin origins. The manuscript the assassins sought has been in my possession for some time. I reclaimed it when my men found you marooned. The Grand Master himself charged me to discover its meaning, a task I regret I have failed to complete. I leave it in your charge, Master Cormac. There is no one else I trust more. Now I leave for Fort William Henry, an ill-prepared garrison surrounded by hostile natives and the French army. We have requested reinforcements, but I doubt they will be forthcoming. I have no illusions that our resistance will be successful. I commit my life to the British Army, and my soul to the Father of Understanding. Yours, Colonel George Monroe.
Captain's at the helm!
Man your post, Gist. The Colonel's in trouble.
How do you mean, in trouble?
He's at Fort William Henry, facing impossible odds.
Get off your lazy arses, lads, and man your stations! We raise anchor! Sorry for the early libation, Captain. But do you realize it has been a whole year since we met? A whole year! Changed my life, you did. And for the better. You will forgive me if I have been celebrating without you.
A whole year. Gist, I've a question for you. How long have you known of my, well, former allegiance?
Oh, you mean the assassins? I knew that ages ago, Shay. I may be drunk, but I'm not blind. Or did you think I would assume you had escaped from some homicidal circus?
Why didn't you say anything?
Well, the Colonel wanted us to avoid the subject so it wouldn't, influence your decision-making. You saved my life out of pure selfless instinct, and helped countless others besides. If it were up to me, I would have made you an official Templar months ago.
Who is it up to, then? Monroe mentioned a Grand Master.
Oh, yes. The Grand Master of the Colonial Rite. You'd like him, Shay. His father was an assassin.
Really? He must have a story to tell.
What is the news from Fort William Henry?
The garrison is surrounded, and reinforcements are late.
General Montcalm has been blazing a path across the colonies for King Louis, hasn't he?
I rather wish he'd stayed home with his mistress.
His or King Louis's?
Either. Though I suspect the King's is finer.
Indeed. Madame O'Murphy is supposed to be quite the charmer.
I know Murphy is in the French King's bed. Now I know you're pulling my leg. Loose mainsails!
Spread those sheets!
Crowded! Douse all but main! Ease off the wind! Haul it all sail!
Drop anchor!
Unfurled mains! Let's move!
Let them down together fast!
Fire! Fire!
A good shot and finish!
As much sail as you can!
To your stations!
Fire!
Captain, put a shot through her there!
Ease off the wing!
Cannon ready!
Fire!
Ready to fire, sir!
More sail! All sail!
Topsails, gallants, loose and trim!
Short sail!
Back off!
More enemies sighted, sir!
Mains out! Let's go!
Ready to fire, Captain!
Fire!
Hard at the helm, Captain! Awaiting orders, sir!
Douse the gallants and boys!
Reef the foreman!
Fire! Charge on every inch of sail! Fire!
Take your damage here!
Fire!
That's their weak spot!
Fire!
Take the shot, sir!
Fire! Haul in the stunsail!
They hit us, sir!
As much sail as you can! Fire! Fire!
Take care, sir!
Taking a hit, sir!
Fire!
Captain, put a shot through her there! Iceberg is sinking! We got him, Captain! Watch her burn!
Fire!
Ready to fire, sir!
Fire!
Enemies firing! Ready to fire, Captain! She's weakest right there, sir! Hammer us that time! Enemies firing! One more hit and we'll be sunk!
She can't take much more, Captain!
Captain, put a shot through her there! We got her, Captain!
Get out of
Watch her burn!
Fire! Fire!
Almost there, sir!
Fire! Fire! Fire!
Take much more!
The ship is going, sir!
They hit us, sir!
Loose!
Starboard, convoy!
Ships may go as long as the seas do flow. But a sailor lad just like his daddy loves. What's the news? On your mark, Captain!
Fire!
Any cash is getting away! Use explosive shot the slower!
Fire! Fire! Fire!
orders, sir!
Report! What is outstanding? Brace! Avoid them, sir!
Fire!
Coming forward now, sir!
Start safe! Get off the squad! Hold them in! Get off the wind!
You heard the orders!
Incoming!
Fire!
Captain! Put a shot through there! On your mark, Captain!
Fire!
Damnation! Straight to the deep! Ready! Get in there, sir! Ready for fire, sir!
Fire!
Back off or she'll blow us out of the water!
Fire!
There, Captain!
Fire!
A good shot finisher! Too closer!
Make them lose the day they crossed us!
They're too closer! Brace!
Fire!
Awaiting orders, sir. That's their weak. Looks like trouble, sir. Frigate, sir. That's got
Fire! Fire! yourselves!
Where is she hurt?
Fire!
Too close, Captain! Get us away!
Fire! Brace yourselves! Douse the royals and talk!
They have trust!
Briefing all tops! Fire!
Taking a hit, sir!
Get out of range or they'll take us!
Grappling's ready, Captain. Just say the word. Ready to fire, Captain.
Fire!
She's weakest right there, sir.
Weakest to our safe, Captain! Drag them down!
Hold tight!
Loose mainsails!
We're too close, Captain! Get us away! Careful, Captain!
Fire! As much sail as you can! Fire!
Get out of range!
Fasten yourselves! Get the mainsails in! Top! Get...
Oh, it's a cold and dreary morning. Awaiting orders, sir!
Have your orders!
Captain! Taking damage here!
Fire!
That's their weak spot!
Fire!
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 We missed!
They are
They hit us, sir!
Fire! Fire!
On your marks, chap. It's a brig! Bring
Fire! Fire! Fire!
Put a shot through her there! Right! Should we board and take her?
Warship incoming, Captain! It's a brig!
Fire!
Rocky Mountain!
Tries to ram us!
Weakest
Fire!
right
Trim the yards off the wind!
Ease the man!
That's their weakest! Take the shot, sir!
Loose all and trim sharp for the wind! Short sail! Get off the scope! Bring them in!
Jump into the drink! Brace yourself for collision!
Cargo's loose now! Catch some wind!
Full sail!
Douse all but mains! Loose all! Let's move!
All sails loose and stays tight!
Your end is nigh!
Heave! Loose and catch the wind!
We
All
have the
sail,
goods.
shall
Let us
take
deck out
it.
the Morrigan in new finery.
Douse the royals and tops! Crowd on every inch of sail!
Full
As I walk down on Broadway.
The wind is picking up!
Shall we board her now, sir?
Jump into the drink while you can!
Hey! Awaiting orders, sir!
Reef the topsails and gallants! Douse all sail!
Hold down!
touche. You are a sight for sore eyes.
Jack?
Colonel Monroe surrendered to General Montcalm. The French and their Abenaki allies took Fort Henry. Johnson was supposed to bring reinforcements here.
I don't see anyone else.
The Abenaki are restless. They don't understand the terms of surrender and refuse to heed Montcalm. The colonel and his men were released this morning. They're walking into an ambush.
Wait here in case Johnson arrives. I'll protect the colonel.
Thank you.
Maybe I can finally repay my debt to him. I hope I'm not too late.
Good work, men.
That's the last of them.
Master Cormac.
Sir, we must hurry. We should bring what's left of your men to the Morgan.
A welcome offer, Captain Cormac. Follow me. Safe passage is ahead.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened at Fort William Henry?
Poor planning and poor luck, I am afraid. Montcalm was able to bombard us for days.
Damn frog.
Actually, he acted with great honor. When we sent for Parley, he returned an offer far more generous than anticipated. We kept our arms, and more importantly, our colors.
Only to walk into a trap.
I would hardly expect the French to defend us. Would you?
No, I wouldn't.
You continue to prove your loyalty to the Templars, Master Cormac. Risking your life for me.
We're not out of the woods yet, Colonel. As for my loyalty, well, I do owe you, don't I? You saved my life. Gave me a second chance.
We have been working together for a year now. During that time, you have rendered many great services. Whatever debt you imagine you have towards me is paid, wouldn't you say?
Perhaps.
Live! Attack!
Take cover!
Keep together, men!
I'll take out as many as I can. Keep your men moving. I'll scout ahead and signal if there's trouble.
A sensible strategy. Very well. I will lead my men around slowly.
Hurry. Segawase will not relent.
Kesegawase. You know this man, Mr. Cormac.
Aye, Colonel. He is one of Achilles' men. An assassin, as I was.
So they know I'm a Templar. And now this assassin knows you live.
And work with Templars. I'm no fool, Colonel. The assassins will come after me next. We're both targets now. You know that's a trap, right?
Indeed, Master Cormac. But we have little choice. We survived French cannons, we will survive this.
I have as clear a shot as I can get. That's what Crow flies. I see him. Ready to fire. He's... Ah! This way. Come, follow me.
Loose the sails!
You heard the captain, men! Let's get out of here! Move! Move! See!
I owe you my life, Master Cormac.
As do I, Colonel.
We have much to discuss. However, I must tend to my troops.
Sir, I will accompany you to Johnson's trading post at Onakwaga.
Then I shall depart at once. Master Cormac, meet me there.